Hello and welcome to Public Speaking Tips and Tales with Speaking Coach Kelly. This podcast is dedicated to helping you become a more confident and effective speaker. I'm your host, Kelly K. Walker, and each week we'll dive headfirst into the deep end of public speaking. I'll share real stories from the stage, interview other speakers, and evaluate speeches to show you what works on stage and what doesn't. So let's get started. I am almost too embarrassed to share what I'm about to share because I'm a professional speaker and a speaker trainer, so I should know better. Because I know this story will help someone, I feel compelled to share it anyway. As you probably know by now, I am a member of Toastmasters, which is basically a public speaking club with leveled assignments that take you from brand new hopeful speaker all the way to a great speaker if you work the program. Well, I visited another Toastmasters club this Tuesday because I was going to give my speaker friend a coaching session on how to break his awesome keynote presentation down into two 20-minute speaking slots. And since he's a member of this other Toastmasters club, I went 90 minutes early just for the fun of visiting and seeing how other clubs run their Toastmasters meetings. Well, because they were short one evaluator, they asked if I'd be willing to evaluate the one professional speaker in their club who was speaking that day. I said, of course, because I love to evaluate speeches. Now, I don't know if you would be nervous to evaluate a speaker who has shared the stage with Donald Trump or spoken to audiences of 30,000 people, but I wasn't. I was just excited for the opportunity to really stretch my speaker coaching muscles with a high-level speech evaluation. However, much to my horror, when I stood up to give him his evaluation, I was hit with a wave of stage fright. I haven't had almost debilitating nerves when I was on stage for years, so I was shocked. What happened to send me into full-on stage fright? Looking back, I'm guessing it's probably because I didn't know the speaker personally, but did know that he was a professional speaker. So I wasn't sure how he would take my critique or how the audience would take it either. What if I offended him and he were to get really mad and remember who I was forever and secretly, or even not so secretly, hate my guts until he died? Or what if he thought I was an idiot with no right to call myself a speaking coach? Now, I don't remember consciously thinking anything like that, but I do know my hands were shaking and my voice was trembling and I could hardly breathe, so there was definitely a lot of fear and adrenaline running through my veins. It reminds me that stage fright is almost 100% caused by you pre-living the consequences of having done terribly on stage while you were actually on the stage. Let me repeat that. Stage fright is almost 100% caused by you pre-living the consequences of having done terribly on stage while you were still actually on the stage. There's probably also a little bit of who do I think I am and what was I thinking exposing myself like this too, but I think it's mostly feeling the fear of how bad we're going to feel when we totally ruin our speech and everyone is disappointed at best and incensed or outraged at the worst. Which leads me to remember my favorite law of the universe, which is whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on failing terribly on stage, even if you don't fail, you're going to have to deal with the emotional response your body is having to the very thought of you failing. Remember, your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. So your fear of falling flat on your face is causing your body to pump out all the fight or flight chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol and all the other unpleasant things that our body feels when we experience a big, embarrassing failure in public is happening. With stage fright, we are feeling all that trauma, even though we haven't actually experienced the trauma. Which means when I stood up, I forgot all of my mindset training in that moment. As soon as I started critiquing this high-level professional speaker, I felt nervous to the point that my body was in full-on fight or flight mode. And that caused me and my voice to shake like a leaf, which was so embarrassing for me. So, what do I wish I had done? I wish I had had the sense of mind to just stop for a second, make a joke about my shaking, and then take a deep breath while imagining my energetic connection grounding me to the earth and letting all my nerves calm down. I would let go of the fear and let it just sink down into the earth, leaving me calm and grounded. Now, it's important to remember that a speech evaluation at Toastmasters is timed, so I wouldn't have wanted to spend about more than 10 seconds doing that. But in hindsight, that 10 seconds would have been worth it to regain my center and stop shaking like I was a brand new speaker. If you have a good stage fright coping strategy, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you have a really great stage fright story, I love to hear those too. They're always fun. And if you know you have a message to share, but you still haven't figured out what it is yet, download my workbook called 10 Steps to Find the Message in Your Mess. It walks you through the process, focusing on finding the best stories from your life to create a powerful, transformational signature presentation so you can get out there and start changing lives from the stage. Find the link in the show notes, or you can just type in www.kellykWalker.com/workbook to download it for free. And if you need the spelling of that, especially my middle name, it is KELLYKAYEWALKER.com/workbook. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you. If you love this podcast, please like, follow, subscribe, or whatever your app lets you do. And please give us a 5-star rating if the show is helping you move closer to being that speaker that everybody wants at their events. And if you know anybody that needs to hear this podcast episode, please share it with them. This is Kelly K. Walker with another episode of Public Speaking Tips and Tales with Speaking Coach Kelly. Thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next one.